Welcome everyone to a new episode of Soccer Examiner. I'm Victor, and we had 4 games today, so let's get straight to them. The first game was the Mexico versus Uruguay game. Now, I was waiting for this game. Like I said before, I like it when Latin American teams clash, especially from different confederations, because there's a little bit of rivalry there. But anyways, Uruguay was the better team. Muslera has been perfect so far, hasn't conceded a goal, and has provided Uruguay with key saves. Then you have Diego Lugano, a good captain, knows how to motivate this team and knows how to make the defense very strict. They didn't concede that many spaces. I believe Mexico had two probably good chances. The strike from Andres Guardado, the long range one, and the header from El Masa Rodriguez, with which I believe Masa should have done a better job. He was unmarked, and the goal was open to him, but he couldn't get the header in. And another player that I like about Uruguay is the midfielder Alvaro Pereira. I think he's very dynamic, very versatile, very disciplined. I just like to watch him play. And Luis Suarez with a beautiful goal, beautiful header. He got unmarked by El Masa again. Bad defense from him on that point. And a beautiful goal. And Mexico, Javier Aguirre has been criticized about who we brought into the match that day. The starting 11 wasn't what most people expected. He started Cuauhtemoc Blanco. Many people are hitting on him on that. Why would you start Cuauhtemoc Blanco? Seriously. I mean, he is a good player, but he is past his prime, and you're kind of playing handicap there. He doesn't, obviously his fitness isn't there anymore. And it's really, it's like you're playing with 10 people, to be quite honest. And Guille Franco starting again. Many people have criticized him, criticized Aguirre for it, just because he seems to be a tad injured, and why not start El Chicharito, who's fresh, who's fitness ready, but he didn't. And in the end, Mexico, I believe, was playing for the tie, but Uruguay wasn't. Uruguay didn't want to take any risks and just won the game. Perfect game for Uruguay. Kudos to them. Off to the next game, the Nigeria versus the South Africa versus France game. Interesting game. I didn't expect South Africa to win, obviously, according to my prediction, but they did. Many people were counting them out already, but they didn't play like they cared. They wanted to win, and they got the win. As for France, I don't know what to say about them. They haven't been playing well at all. They're not unified. They're not playing as a team. Really broken up. Maybe it's the locker troubles. Who knows? Everyone's hating on Dominic. Well, the tournament's over for them, and I'm assuming Dominic's out the door. But yeah, beautiful header in by Kumalo, and a good shot from the striker, Umfella. He's been having a lot of opportunities and missed a lot of them, and finally he gets one in the back of the net. To me, South Africa could have had more, especially with that pass to Shabalala, who, to me, took a little bit too long to react. But, I'm also glad that France actually got a goal by Malouda. That way this tournament wasn't a complete failure. Well, I guess it was, whatever. Anyways, to the next game, the Argentina versus Greece game. Now, Argentina clearly outmatched Greece. A lot of well, at least in the possession, they had most of the possession. Now, I credit Greece for withstanding the Argentinian attack. But like I said, when you're facing a quality team, you can't withstand them for long. Eventually, they'll find a space or two and punish you. And that's what Argentina did. Now, a good shot from Demichelis, the Bayern Munich defender. And, what surprised me was that Palermo scored, he was really happy about it. And you know what? I'm happy about it too. This is a player that, had a long, good career, and why not top it off with a World Cup goal? So, good job, Palermo. Good job, Argentina, and good job, Maradona. Guys are off to the next round facing Mexico. That's the game I want to see. And we'll see what happens, And the last game was the Nigeria versus South Korea game. Very epic for me. Nigeria was winning, then they tied. Then South Korea won, and then it ends up in a tie, Credit to both teams. They, didn't go down without a fight. Obviously, this result benefits the South Koreans. They're into the next round. What can I say about the South Koreans? They're a team that they don't give up. They pressure you and pressure and pressure you. Try to find an open space, and try to punish you on that. but now they're facing the Uruguayans. Uh, so that should be interesting. Interesting game. I will see you guys later for the next episode. Bye.